Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's episode we are going to be doing a bit of head work.
Oh wow, it's the gaskets.
She a little yucky.
How's your gasket look? Oh, look at
Broken.
that. Look.
Told you, look at that.
Yeah,
broken.
she's smashed.
Broken. Yeah.
Wow.
Full of mud and crap. I knew it. I told Damo yesterday too. I'm like, any money, those valley gaskets are going to be cactus. They always are. Yes. Bloody gross. Can I grab my nail on that? Nah, that has drag cutting up the rings. Oh, that one's had water sitting in it.
Yeah. Yep. Look at the piston. Looks alright, there's a bit of mark on it, but...
Yeah. Alrighty.
Oh! That is the prettiest oil. Look at that colour. Is just...
At the moment I have gone over the surface with a razor blade. I did have to wait for my drill with the wire brush so I can clean everything up. I do have another drill there that I'm probably going to use until the battery goes flat because I haven't got a charger for that at the moment. But yeah, so I'll clean that up, the rest of the block up after I finish with the head. But with the head at the moment, I've got the roller rockers out. I've got to clean up some of the screws, or should I say bolts, with the wire brush because some of them come out a bit carbony and gunky, as you've seen the rest of the motor was like that. So at the moment I've got to go over the outside of the head with the wire brush, clean absolutely everything up, clean up all the face of it, and then I'm going to be pulling the valves out because I've got some valve stem seals down in this pack here, just there, the valve stem seals. So I'll be pulling the valves to do the valve stem seals, and also in my toolbox here, if I can clean the valves up enough, these will stick to the valve, and I've got some valve grind compound as well, just depending on what the actual valve seat looks like, but I'm guessing it's going to have to need a little bit of a lap. Take some time, but in the end, when you're pulling it down this far and putting valve stems in it, or valve stem seals, sorry, why not just go that little bit further and do the valve guides while you're there. Alright, so I've cleaned the head up, gone over it with the wire wheel on the drill, cleaned it all up a bit better than it was, down the sides and that. So now I'm going to grab the valve spring compressor and get these valves out and see what these guides look like. So I've got the first one out, got the spring and the retainers there, but this is the one that had the water sitting in it, so it's a bit pitted. That's also the back of it, but I've done a set of these before and had lots of carbon build up around the back of the valve. But I think, you know why? Because that's an intake valve, that's why there's no carbon build up. But I'm gonna have to try and hit it with a wire brush and just see what the seat looks like, because, well, while looking at that, it doesn't look like it's pitted or anything, so we might be in luck and not really have to lap the valves, but still probably won't hurt giving them a little bit of a go. So we'll clean these up and see what it looks like clean. So it actually turned out pretty good. Oh, you can see a bit, might be a little bit hard, I don't know if the light's going to help or not, but that seat looks pretty good. I'm still going to give it a quick lap, but even the back of this one turned out pretty good, and it's still pretty straight, so it's a good sign. Yeah, so well, that's intake one. Let's pull the exhaust out and see what it looks like. So I thought I'd set you up so you can see how I use the valve spring compressor to pull them out. It is quite easy. Just got one of these from Super Cheap Auto. This end goes on the face of the valve like that, and then this end will go onto the valve spring. So we'll get that down on there. pull down. Just like that. Pull the two clips out, sit them on the other side, release it, and you just pull your spring and your retainer out, sit that there, pull your valve out the other side. So it's got a little bit of crap on the back side of it. It's probably mainly just from when I gurneyed the heads the other day. But even inside looks a bit there. How you going? But yeah, so I'll clean them up, see what it looks like, and get on to pulling the other ones out. But switch back down there. It's got a bit of carbon build-up stuck to it. Overall, the actual lip looks pretty good. I've seen worse when I did the green VY one. Did that a while back now, probably would have been before we started the channel. And yeah, I had some pitting on some of them, so I had to go around and give them a bit of a lap. But and the valve stem seals, I'm gonna have to get a flathead screwdriver, because I already tried to pull one off and it was a bit, how you going? But you know, like that. Try not to scratch it if you can, and it'll just slide off. Alright, if I'm getting the camera in the right spot. But yeah, so if your motor's already down, it is easy to do your valve stem seals. These ones still kind of look alright, but if you're down this far, you got your heads out, why not do your valve stem seals? Save you having to do them a couple thousand k's down the track when or if they decide to shit themselves. So yeah, I'll get this valve grind compound stuff out and the little tool thing for it, and I'll see if I can set you up and show you how to lap these. You are supposed to do like 3 times or something, put it in, lap it, pull it out, clean all the stuff off it, put it back in with more grease stuff, give it another lap. You're supposed to do that about 3 times until both surfaces on the valve and on the head become shiny. And if you got pitting, well, light pitting, if you're got big pits in it, you're probably better off getting the head machined, well, the valve seats done by a machine shop. But if it's just like this, you can just go a couple of times until it becomes shiny, then you know you've got a nice even flat seal and you shouldn't get any leakage from your valves. So we'll, I'll pull them out, set the head up, and we'll start lapping the valves. Right, so now these are set up there. It's just one of these. Oh, it's not going to suction to the end of that one, is it? Oh, it might. No, not quite. And use the other end on this one. Well, yeah, well, it should stick to it. And then use some of this. This is just water mix grinding compound. It's a medium one. It's like a gritty grease, and you just sort of slap it on the end of the valves or on the sides there. Slap your valve back in, and then while it's down like that, you sort of back and forwards with it if it suctions properly, and you'll lap your valves. Righto, so we'll start with this one because it suctions to the cup bit, and I can actually show you how it works properly. Yeah, righto, so I've got some grind compound around the edge of the valve. Try not to get any on the top, because then your suction cup tool won't actually suction to it. Suction down and And you could hear how it was a lot more grindier, and then it went softer again, which means like the compound's sort of wearing out a little bit, but you can see that it's already changing the colour on the lip, and you can see it's bringing out some pitting. I don't know if you can see properly, if it's going to focus. But all those little black dots are pitting on the valve. Wipe all the old access stuff off. And I'm going to have to dig some out with a screwdriver because I don't know if it can go off, but it's really hard to try and get out of the tube. Like, you won't resurface valves or the seats, but you will get a nice seal on it anyway. Listen again, you might be able to hear it, but it goes really crunchy, and then it'll go, it'll start quietening down when the compound starts wearing out a little bit. I think you can go a little bit longer than I normally do, but so once I hear it starting to fine up a bit, I'll normally pull the valve out and give it a go again. Because it's only like fine sandpaper, it will wear out. But I think I might just go through twice with each valve if they look like this. Right, so I've just got the head flipped over. I sprayed some brake clean in there, clean that up, literally with valve stem seal. All you do is push it over the top, make sure it's seated all the way down and straight, and that's it. They've got that little spring bit on them, as you can see. They're just on, push down, maybe just give them a bit of a little bit of a tap in the top. That's it. Flip it back this way, and yeah, drop your valve in. I should probably oil the edge of that a little bit. Just something so that the valve's not going in dry. I didn't with the last ones, but and done. So now they're all back in there. That's all good. Right, so that's one head done. All the rest of them were pretty much the same. This head's all put back together now. All the valves are back in. All the new valve stem seals are in. Now I've just got to clean up all the nuts, all the bolts, and maybe, it's got a bit old Loctite shit in the threads. So I might give them all a bit of a clean up and stick them back in and get the other head out and start doing that, and then that's the head's done, and then it's on the wire brushing the top of the block, pulling the front timing cover off, and the main retainer plate seal and gasket, and still got to get a sump gasket, but that can go on later. That can be one of the last things to go on. Yeah, I want $100 for a sump gasket. So, fuck. I'll clean those rocker bolts up and get that back on the head, and then we should. That's one head down, one to go. Fucking V6s, I tell you what. Straight 6, so RB, 2J, 1J, or an LS, all the way. But again, they've got 2 heads as well. But you can't beat a good old push rod. But yeah, righto. Get them all cleaned up and we'll start getting into the second head. That head's done. Done and dusted, everything's tightened down. I might just give those rollers, each one of these, another quick tighten down. But that's one head down. Now, to do the other head. It's fucking, doesn't take long. It's just very hot out and I haven't got a fan. So yeah, righto. I'm gonna put this head back in the boot and get the other head out because I've got all the parts in the boot of the VT at the moment. so that they're not cluttering up the shed. Alright, so I was pulling the intake valve out of the second head on the first one and pulling the valve out, giving it a bit of a clean. Got a chip taken out of the tip of the valve where the rocker sits. So I need to get another valve. Hopefully it's the same size valve out of a standard Ecotech than it is for an L67, because I've got a couple of spare heads sitting at my dad's place. Yeah, I'm not putting this valve back in that motor because I'm not going to be pulling the heads back off it again in fucking 1,000 Ks just because I wanted to get it running with this valve. So for now, yeah, you can't really see, it's not really focusing that well. Well, you can a bit there, just here on the corner. It's not good. So I'm going to have to get another head and hopefully the valves are the same size. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you that. It's the first valve on this head after I've already cleaned it up. Pulling that one out. The guides, all the valves look alright, and figured out too with that valve grind compound that I had to stick a screwdriver in there and mix it up. It is actually a watery compound, so it's not just straight hard. So it did work a bit better on the last valves once I figured that out. But yeah, gonna have to get another valve. Alright, so I've just done the second head, minus that one valve that's been a bit cactus because of the end. But I've got the rest of it done. Clean the rockers up I should say, but I haven't done this one down. I've just screwed it in a little bit so I can still get the spring in that I've got. I've got the spring in the keeper and that's sitting just there. Friday I'll be able to, no, Saturday I'll be able to pick that head up to be able to get that valve, and hopefully it all lines up properly. I didn't lap it so that when I get the valve I can lap it and see how much of the valve is actually touching with the seat and everything. So the next thing to do will be pull the timing cover off it, wire wheel it, clean it up, do the gaskets and put it all back on. Because I've even got the oil pump gasket that goes in here, and a few others I'll show you when I get the gasket kit out to do these bits. But just hope it's got compression. I was thinking of when I throw the heads on of just winding it over by the crank and getting the compression tester going. Hopefully it's going to be enough, and make sure that I've got at least 150 across the board, because that's what I had with the green VY when I did the heads on that, when I blew it between cylinders 3 and 5 between the bores. So if I can get 150 across the board, I'm going to be happy. But yeah, alrighty guys, well that's it for now, and we'll jump into the front timing cover and probably remain seal retainer plate and remain seal tomorrow. So